So, any questions from the last session? Yes, this could be the reason. Mobile internet connectivity. Okay, so anyone, any questions from the last session that we have discussed regarding the objects and properties of hoops? Okay, so today we start with our next topic, and that is the classes, right? So about objects we have discussed. Today we are going to see how these objects are created basically. So what is a class? So till now we have just discussed about the objects. Now we discuss what is a class. So in real world, you'll often find many individual objects, all of the same kind, right? For example, car, right? We say car is an object. And if I go to some showroom and say, okay, I want suppose some ZDI model of any car, I don't have to look at many ZDI models. I'll just order one ZDI and whatever is there, we just blindly take it, right? We never see that, okay, show me 10 ZDIs. Out of those 10, I will choose. Similar to like what you do with the clothes, right? Because we are for sure that all the ZDI models of any specific car, right, this variant, all of them would be exactly the same replica. All would have the same thing because they are created in some factory that has a blueprint, right? No matter which car you purchase, all of them you trust them that okay, all of those cars are exactly the same. How do they look? What are the features? And absolutely everything you will find it. Suppose if in any of your car, any of your component got damaged, then when you purchase a new one, it perfectly fits in because that component is also exactly the same sort of an object that was used inside the car, right? So from where these all cars are being manufactured is a factory, right? Where they are produced. And when we talk about a factory, if you just visit some Discovery Channel, you will see there is what we say, a rail where the car starts from one source and then different boats are working on it, and ultimately maybe within 5-10 minutes we have a new car ready because there are some boats deployed and all of them are programmed to whatever they want to do, right? They are called as, one more thing we'll discuss here, constructors. We'll discuss it later what are constructors, but yes, the robots in the factory that are working to create a car are called as constructors. Another example we can take for a house. You must have seen there are some colonies that contains row house, right? You know what is a row house? All houses are same, are identical. You must have seen some societies that all of the houses are really identical, right? So those houses are basically the object created from a map, or we can say a blueprint by some workers. We call them constructors. Yes or no? If I say, for example, a row house, so we can see that all of the row houses are exactly the same. If we have many of them in the same society, all of them would be looking identical, like flats also. So house can be an object. They are created from a map. There is a map. There is a blueprint that says, okay, this would be the map. The dimensions would be these, and one bedroom here, and then this, and whatever it is, and this is the entry. So there is a map, a blueprint. Seeing that blueprint, there are constructors, what we call as workers, who actually build that object, right? So this map or blueprint, this thing is called a class, right? So how we can ensure all of the vehicles are exactly the same? Because they all are created by looking at the same blueprint. All the houses are identical because all of them are based upon the same map, same blueprint, right? Similarly, In case of your car, any object, whatever you say, all of them would be exactly the same replica because they are built from the same thing. And another thing that we saw is the constructor that we'll discuss later, that these are something that looks at this class and build this object. Looks at this class and build this object. So they are the constructor, the workers. So again, this is some sort of action being happening. That's why we'll see there. These are functions because some action is happening here. This is just a draft. That is not a real house. That is just a draft. This is the behavior, the function that will look at this draft and it will create something actually that is a house. Right? So this map from which all of these things are built upon are nothing but the classes. Now we can see for any example that how they are correlated here. So in real world, you will find many objects, all of them are of the same kind. There may be thousands of other bicycles in existence, all of the same make and model. Right? Every bicycle is identical. Right? Each bicycle was built from the same set of blueprints and therefore contains the same components. So in object-oriented terms, we say that your bicycle is an instance of the class. Again, the term comes in instance. Looking at the blueprint, there was some factory which was building some objects. At any point of time t, whatever object it builds, that is nothing but the instance of that factory. Okay, maybe later t dash we have 2 instances, at t double dash we have 3 instances, right? So individual object that is created from that class, a blueprint, that is nothing but the instance. So we say that your bicycle is an instance of the class of object known as bicycle. A class is the blueprint from which individual objects are created, right? Moving ahead. So this is the syntax in Java. How do we create a class? No, Lavanya, factory is not the class. Factory is some sort of a infrastructure, right? So I will again have to go back to the example. Maybe in car or maybe here. See what we said. These are something that are building using some tools and techniques, whatever it is, that will create a factory basically. The constructor or the workers, they are building the houses. So we can call them factory, right? Because first they will build one house, then again second, then maybe the third one, and so on. They will keep on building. So these are the instances that suppose today they started building. At one point of time, there was just one house, later another house, third house. So these are different instances that are being created by these constructors. These constructors are sort of factory that creates the object. How do they create? Looking at the class. What is the class? It is a draft that contains the blueprint. Okay. So later we will see many factory patterns. That is nothing but the same thing. In what pattern we can build the objects? Maybe I can say, first of all, let me create an object, then I will do something. There could be another pattern that will say, create one object, do something, then create another object, do something. There could be some factory patterns where we will say only create one object of this class. I do not want more than one object. Right? So factory is not a class. Factory is a kind of an infrastructure because this constructor will have to work in certain manner, in certain sequence, using some tools, whatever it is. That whole infrastructure is the factory. If we take example of a car, so there is a factory. That factory was first created based upon again blueprints. Right? There was some blueprint that what all components should be there in a car. That's why this factory was being created based upon the blueprint. And when it is in execution, then construction or constructor happens. Right? So these things will again come back when we discuss about the constructors more in detail. There will be separate discussion around constructors. But this is something how you can correlate that factory is created based upon the blueprint. that factory uses constructor to create actual object. Once factory is created, right, maybe for a car, some plant is created for a car, right? Plant, factory, same thing. That plant is also created based upon some blueprint that will say, okay, this is the entry point from where raw material comes in. Then maybe we will fabricate something, then set engine, then paint, and maybe then deliver. Right? This is how these might be the set of process. So this is an entire factory. This is all set it up based upon the blueprint, whatever we have suggested, what a car should contain. Later on, this would be started. We will start it sometime that, okay, start building the car. Then all of this process will actually start and we will get the object. That starting is the constructor. Creating this factory is the blueprint. This blueprint is a draft that decides what all it will contain. Okay, Lavanya? Good. So, this example is again a Java example, how to create a class, right? When we talk about Java, we discussed previously that an object will contain the state and the behavior that can change its state, right? And what we are doing, we are creating a draft by which these objects can be created, right? This is that draft. It is not anything in real that you say that, okay, this is a bicycle. No, this is just a set of instruction that, okay, this is how a bicycle should look like. It is a draft, just like a house map, right? That just says that, okay, this house will be of 10 by 20, will have 2 bedrooms and maybe 1 drawing room, 2 washrooms, etc., etc. So these are the specifications that we define. This is then given to some constructor to build, right? Maybe for constructor also we define something that ये जो काम करने वाला आएगा वो भी ऐसे ऐसे काम करेगा. So all of that will come later on. So this is what just a draft. So we should observe here, what were the states? These were the variables that store the state. And what was the behavior? These were the methods or functions that changes the state. So this is the syntax, that class is a keyword, bicycle is the class name, right? Then these 3 things, incidence, speed and gear, these are nothing but your variables, or we can say the state. These variables store the state of any object that will be created in future from this class, right? We have just defined, okay, these are the 3 things that will store the state of any object that will be created from the class. Then we have these methods. These are the 5 methods. This says, okay, change settings. You pass in new value, it will change the older value to the new one. You change gear, you pass in the new value, it will change the old value to the new value. You say speed up, increment. How much you want to increment, it will increase the speed. Apply brake, decrement. And then a function print state. It will print this. You can say this is an odometer basically, right? That can just print you what is the current value, what is the current state right now. So see, you can see here, this is a function to print the values, that cadence is equal to cadence, speed is equal to speed, gear is equal to gear, right? So again, do not worry about the code right now because we have not yet started Java. We are discussing object-oriented concepts. But this example is for Java so that you can somehow correlate, right? So what we are doing basically, creating the variables, these are the state, creating the behaviors. So what we have done in this entire thing, we have created a class with the name bicycle, having some state and some behavior. Now, whenever this class object will be created by some constructor, every object will contain all of these things. Every object, exactly the same thing they will contain, and that is the surety that, okay, all of them would be the exactly the same features, the state and the behavior, right? Any question, anyone? In this, are things connecting now? whatever we have discussed about objects. So this is how, what we have done, we have created a draft that how a bicycle should look like. So we are saying whenever we are in future going to create an object of a bicycle obj, then this obj will contain these 3 states and all of these 5 methods. So these would be the states, these would be the behaviors. This is what we are doing right here. Is it clear, all of you? Then the syntax of Java programming language will be good. The syntax of Java programming language will look new to you, but the design of this class is based on the previous discussion of bicycle object. We have discussed it. So why they are saying this thing? As I told you previously also, all of these lecture notes, what I'm telling you, if you want to discuss, read them in detail, you can just open this Java talk. I'm not referring any book here for the basics. What we are doing basically is we are just understanding from the this thing, docs.oracle.com Java SE7. This is the place. I am taking all the content only from the website from where we have to start with. So you will find everything here. You will also find OOPS session here. So these are all the things that you will find in. Okay, similar kind of this you will find for object-oriented programming. Before this, basically, let me check it if it is here. Yes. Right. So what I am telling you is taken from this Oracle. From here, you can read all of these things in detail. Right. What is an object? What is a class? This is from where I'm getting it, and we are understanding all of this. Well, this is the best place from where we should be actually referring to. They are the one who are maintaining this Java, right? So the syntax of Java will look new to you because if you have seen C++, that is somehow similar, but again, something are missing from C++. This is quite clean as compared to a C++ class creation, right? But the design of this class is based on the previous discussion of bicycle object. The field, cadence, speed, and gear represent the object state, and the methods like these define its interaction with the outside world, right? So nowhere from this code, I cannot access cadence, speed, and gear outside this. If I do make them private, only these would be the behaviors through which we will be accessing them, right? You may have noticed that the bicycle class does not contain the main method. That's because it is not a complete application. It is just a blueprint for bicycle that might be used in an application. So what they are saying is basically like you create a C program, then you have a main method that executes. This file, this class do not contain any main method here. That is not a problem because what is a main method basically? Main method is just the very first function that any compiler or interpreter will call to execute your program. Right now, you are only drafting how a bicycle will look like. You are not creating any object right here, right? So that's why if there is no main function, no problem at all. This class will still compile. There would be a class object out of this. Main is something that is in action when you are executing your program. Then your main function is called. It will again come and will start with Java. Okay, because it is not a complete application. It is just a blueprint for bicycle. Okay. Then see here, this is the place where you will find that, okay, if I have to create these objects, then I will require the main method, right? So now we have some other class that contains a main method. This is an executable class now because this contains the main function. In this class, we are creating from this class two bicycles, right? How they are being created? So basically, these are constructors. We'll discuss them when we will be at constructors. So these are constructors. They help us create a new object, that is this bike one. On the left hand side, what this is called as a reference. This is actually the object. And what we are doing, we are assigning a reference from the object, right? Don't worry, we'll discuss this in detail when we discuss the constructors, how this is working. But this is an example of a class that contains a main method. Here we are creating two objects. And now you can see, if I want to work upon bike one, I have created two bicycles now, bike one and bike two. If I want to change the value of bike one, I'm using the dot operator that you have seen in structures also. That bike one dot change sedence to 50. So this is the behavior. This 50, what it will do basically? Change sedence. Whatever value you are sending from your 50, this is actually changing this value. We are not directly saying that set bike one dot sedence is equal to 50. We are doing it through a method. We could also write some logic here that can check whether I should change this value or I should not change this value. That is the benefit of having behaviors. Speed up, change gear, print state. Then I want to do something with bike 2, so I will say bike 2 dot these things. So this is the application. This is actually a scenario where these two bikes are being created and they are being operated, right? Any problem? Then for this program, the output would be sedence 50, speed 10, gear 2. So this is what output of your this method. Print states, sedence, speed, and gear. Here you have called them print state and print state. So for this program, this would be the output, right? So for class, we just have to say this thing, that what is a class? Class is basically a blueprint based upon which the objects are created. Whatever the states and behavior the object will possess in future, they are actually contained inside the written or maintained inside the class. Okay, so that is the proper definition of a class, what you can just speak about. Okay, then now we are discussing object-oriented concepts. We understood what is an object, from where objects are created, that is a class. Now we move next, that what is inheritance, right? Because in real world also we see inheritance everywhere, like we people are also inherited, right? Any person would have looked from their parents, some features included from their parents. That is an inheritance basically. Or if we say the inheritance example could be, maybe I say a vehicle, then I will say two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Then maybe I will say some sports, maybe bicycle or motorcycle. Four-wheeler also we can have maybe SUV or maybe sedan or maybe some other kind of vehicles, right? So what is basically, I'm making sort of a tree. You can compare it like this: your grandfather, your father, you, right? From your other side, maybe mother, and then maybe you, right? So this is all inheritance. So what, how these things are connected? In any of the example we can say. So we say maybe the abstract definition of a vehicle could be anything that is a transportation thing that is moving. can be called as a moving transportation. That can transport something from one place to another. That can be categorized as a vehicle. Then I say two-wheeler. So yes, two-wheeler is also a thing that moves and can do transportation, but it has two wheels. This plus two wheels will be called as a two-wheeler. Two-wheeler plus motor, engine inside it, will be called as a motorcycle. If we have four wheels, it would be called as a four-wheeler. If it has some, maybe the size of some X value, it is SUV. Size of Y value, it is sedan, and different properties also, right? So what is happening basically here is, when you come from top to bottom in this hierarchy, you will find there is a specialized thing. Specialization is being coming. So every bicycle or every motorcycle is a moving transport, and it is a two-wheeler. Every car, maybe it is an SUV, it is a four-wheeler, and it moves and provides you transportation. So whatever is at the bottom on the leaves, all of these things possess properties from their parents. So this is a child, this is the parent. In this context, this is the child, this is the parent, right? So whatever properties were there, they are present here. Whatever properties are here, they are present here also, right? We will see there are multiple type of inheritance possible: single level, multi-level, multiple, hybrid, and hierarchical, right? We'll see them. And like in this case, someone would say, okay, you look more like your father. Someone would say, no, you look more like your mother, because you are inheriting the properties from your father and your mother, right? Here, one thing I should right now we should discuss. Whenever someone says you that, okay, you look more like your father or you look more like your mother, is there some definite answer to this question? Any definite answer? Can anyone just claim that no, he is correct, he looks like his father only, he do not look like his mother? Is there any definite answer to this question? Anytime? Some people, I'm sure all of you must have faced this. Someone will say, okay, he looks like his father, he looks like his mother, but there is no definite answer. Everyone just see how they perceive, right? So this is what we call as an ambiguity. And this ambiguity is happening because of a multiple inheritance, right? Because this child is having properties from father and mother, and the properties are like maybe nose, eyes. So obviously a child will have eyes and nose. Some are saying it is similar to your father, some are saying it is similar to your mother, but that is creating an ambiguity. We are not exactly sure it looks like whom, right? So this was called as multiple inheritance, and this was the problem in multiple inheritance, which is Java. There is no concept of multiple inheritance, and the reason is this ambiguity. Remember this thing, right? It came here, so I explained it here only. If a single child is inheriting properties from two class, it is a multiple inheritance. If it is having the same thing from two different companies, then it will cause an ambiguity. So because Java said, I want to be more say a strong language, that I will not have any confusion for anyone. This used to happen in C++ a lot, that what function I want to call if there are two things of the same thing, right? So that was the problem. So Java removed this completely. There is no notation of multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, for that there is a solution to have something like this, and that is your interface. See, one thing I want to say here is, whenever we are learning any OOPS language, we should keep in mind it is inspired from the real world, right? We say OOPS is inspired from the real world entities, but it is not exactly the real world. One example I can give you. In real world, what we can see, we all are objects, right? Everyone has its state and behavior. All of us have two eyes, nose, two ears, right? Everything we have. Getting my point? But we will find that in some cases there are unfortunate events when there are some sort of some people, some of our friends who by birth are not having any of the organ, right? Maybe someone is like not having his hand, or maybe accidentally lost their hand. Are you getting my point? This is something that happens in nature. In real life, this happens. There are objects. We cannot say that all of the human beings are exactly the same state and behavior. The state behavior might change. Whatever, see, we are also created from a blueprint of DNA, right? There is a blueprint, that is our DNA, from which we are actually being created. So all of us should be exactly the same if everything was so absolute. But this is not the case. In real life, there could be some mishappenings, some unfortunate events, that some of the objects do not have those components that should actually have, right? But whenever we are talking in the terms of programming language like Java or any, we do not have any space for anything that is not perfect. If we have written a blueprint that this is an object that will contain two eyes, one nose, two ears, then yes, either the object will be created or it will not be created. There is no intermediate thing in between. That एक आपने एक स्टूडेंट का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाया, उसके अंदर रिजल्ट वाला फील्ड ही गायब है. No, this is not possible at all. Right? So, are you getting my point? What I'm referring to here? So always make sure whenever we are writing a program, we cannot always correlate all of our programs to the real world entities. We are just taking their help. There are also some negative things in the what nature has provided. So we are removing those things as well, because this is a man-made thing. We try to remove all those things from here. So when we talk about this, then this is a some so the same example implies here. This is multiple inheritance that actually happens. This creates ambiguity to us. That किसके जैसा लगता है, पापा जैसा कि मम्मी जैसा. But in C++ it was, because that was completely based upon OOPS. It was the first language that was created for OOPS at that time, the popular one. But later Java observed this is wrong. This should not be there. Just imagine if this was a class that contained some function to create some function f1. There is one function here also f1. So just imagine now, or maybe we say these are eyes of father, these are eyes of mother. What if at any point of time we would have eyes of our father and any point of time we would have eyes of our mother? So that would be really funny. That would be an ambiguity. That would not be a unique identity for this person. You are not sure at what time what eye you are using. So that should be absolute, that either you have this eye or this eye. So because of that, Java removed this concept of multiple inheritance, which is actually in real life, but it is not there in Java. But these kind of things are also required. So for that, they gave us interfaces that we'll discuss later. Right? So what is inheritance? So different kind of object often have certain amount in common with each other. So mountain bike, road bike, and tandem bikes, for example, all share the characteristics of bicycle. Mountain bike, road bike, and tandem bike, all of them are the bicycles. They have these properties: current speed, pedal sedans, current gear. Still, each also define additional feature that makes them different. Like tandem bikes have 2 seats and 2 sets of handlebar. Road bikes have drop handlebar. Mountain bikes have an additional chain ring, giving them a lower gear ratio. Right? So they have their additional properties with them. Similar to what we have seen here. That vehicle, all of them are for the moving thing. Two-wheeler have 2 wheels. Four-wheeler have 4 wheels. Additional properties. SUV has this size, sedan has this size. Motorcycle also has a motor. Bicycle do not have a motor, but it has 2 wheels. So this is inheritance. So how this is important here? Basically, this helps us in code reuse scenarios. That if you have created a class for vehicle, whatever logic you have written for a moving transport, you do not have to rewrite it. You just add something to it. Everything is reused again. You just add something to it, reused. Engine plus some 4 wheels with different size is a SUV, with different size is a sedan. Okay. So object-oriented programming allows classes to inherit commonly used state and behavior from other classes. It can inherit, it can have access to what was there in the parent, right? So in this example, we can see bicycle now becomes the super class of mountain bike, road bike, and tandem bike. So you can see here, bicycle was a base class, and these are three different child. All of them have these attributes, what was there in bicycle, and their additional attributes. And again, mountain bikes can again come in different variants that can have their own set of attributes, right? So the syntax for inheritance would be like this: class mountain bike, the keyword is extend. You just say extends and the base class. It is like C++, it was something class, something colon, visibility specifier, then the class name. Something like this it was, that you will say class B colon public A. So it is not like that. This thing has been finished here, not required at all, this visibility. Again, something else will come in spite of this. So this is the syntax now, that you are creating a class, but you are extending bicycle class. So automatically, as soon as you write this extends keyword, whatever was there in bicycle, all of them are here automatically. Whatever you want to add, just add it. They don't have to be seen here, but they are there, right? Understood? This is about inheritance. So what are type of inheritance basically? Single level, multi-level, multiple, hybrid, and hierarchical. So if you say there is one parent that has one child, this is single level inheritance, right? If it is just the case that okay, there is some class and there is some derived class, that's it. If there is one more child to this, maybe the grandchild, then this becomes the multiple inheritance. Sorry, multi-level inheritance. There are multiple levels now. Okay. If any child is, maybe here is some parent 2, child 2, and this also inherits property from this, then this becomes multiple inheritance. That a single child is inheriting from multiple classes, not supported in Java. These two are, right? Then what is hybrid? So we say this is not supported, so we remove it. Hybrid could be, maybe then I have a new child here, maybe grandchild 3. So these are two multi-levels. I say there is someone, a new child, parent 3, that extend this one, right? Parent 3 is extending this one. Then later on, this can be of any type, like parent 4 extending this one, and then I'm just not wanting to write interface here because I just said you that multiple inheritance is not possible. But later, with the help of interfaces, they too can be connected like this. Maybe parent 4 is there, so maybe this can connect to 2 of these classes, right? So any combination in any manner, if they can just be connected, that is your hybrid. And hierarchical will just simply look like this. It can have 2 child. They can again have 2, 3, 4, 5, n number of child. It can just have 1 child, and this is your. But at any given point of time, one child will have exactly the one parent. Interface is something different. That is possible everywhere, but that would be something different, what we say, right? We'll discuss it with the interfaces. So this is hierarchical, when this one multiple child and this kind of hierarchy mix. Hybrid is something, any combination through which they can be interconnected to each other. That is hybrid. There could be the case that like in this one hybrid, we can even say, no, we won't say that thing. Okay. Yes. One more thing that I forgot to tell here, specialized thing, that when we move from our top parent to the child, we say it is specialized. When we go from when we go down, it is specialization. When we go up, it is generalization. So every bicycle in general is a vehicle, or any SUV in general is a vehicle. Bicycle is a specialized vehicle. Motorcycle is a specialized vehicle. So as we go down, there is a specialization. As we go up, there is a generalization. So this is also a very important question that is asked. What is the difference between specialization and generalization? So in inheritance, if you come from top to bottom, it is specialization. If you go from bottom to top, it is generalization, right? And that's it for inheritance for now, right? We'll revisit it later. Then moving next, we come to interface. So what is an interface basically? Again, anyone tell me what is the meaning of interface in English? What is the meaning of interface? A place where two entities interact. Yes, a medium of interaction. Yes. Anything else? Anything else, anyone? Interface? You must have come across like command line interface, graphical user interface, communicate with the system through which we interact to perform some work. Right, more? See, for interface, what you can understand is basically, suppose if you have a TV or anything, a surface forming a common boundary. Yes. What example we can take for interface? Basically, see, first thing you should remember is today after if anyone asks you what is an interface, you should say it is an contract. Contract. Whenever you are talking about interface in Java, say it is an contract. And I will connect it. How whatever you have said is absolutely correct. Why this is a contract here? Now let us take an example of any car, maybe any car. Just I'm taking example of Maruti. We have LDI variant, VDI, ZDI. Tell me what are the differences between these variants. Take any example, whatever vehicle you have at your home. Every vehicle comes with multiple variants, right? I hope all of you understand this thing. LDI means सबसे सस्ते वाला, ZDI means सबसे महंगे वाला. So what is the difference basically? Features, yes. Like anything on the dashboard, just to be precise. Anything if you see on the dashboard. Stereo, yes. Price, yes, good. Specifications. So actually, all of these things, all of these cars will actually have an engine. Very basic things, engine, body, right? Whatever is paint, wheels, all of these would run. But the basic difference would be some add-on features. That would be basically the difference. Like maybe LDI will not have ABS, ZDI will have it. Airbags are not there, maybe in LDI, ZDI will have it. And that is how their price are increased. So they are specialized as you go up, right? For the same variant. Now, we are discussing about the space, right? So if you just look at the dashboard in LDI version, just in the middle of the dashboard where your stereo should be, you will find a plastic case there. Right? In VDI, maybe there is some normal stereo, or maybe there is stereo, yes or no. In ZDI, there is a stereo. Right? Okay. So what is happening here? That this LDI version was not supporting stereo. सस्ते वाला था, इसके अंदर stereo नहीं था. Then you will find there is a plastic case instead of a stereo. There is no stereo. There is a plastic case. But yes, it is a standard size. आप मार्केट में जाओ, क्योंकि कंपनी वाला महंगा पड़ रहा था, मार्केट में जाओ उसी स्टैंडर्ड साइज का 1 DIN और 2 DIN का स्टीरियो यू कैन परचेज एंड यू कैन गेट इट प्लग्ड इन देयर, where inside, instead of this plastic case, it can be removed and you can have something from here and you can plug it in here. Right? This is some standard size. Then again, you will find this thing. Most of them, मान लो आप Sony stereo की हम बात करें, you will find all of those Sony stereo are of the same size. If they are 2 DIN, different size, 1 DIN, different size. Mostly all of the vehicles in a general segment will have exactly the same size and they can be fitted inside them until we are not really specific. This is a general example. Do not take it too seriously. That nahi sir alag alag bhi aate hain. So what I am trying to say here is, as you go above in ZDI, the only difference is they will remove this plastic case and instead of this there would be a stereo exactly in the same position. If you open this plastic case, you will find the wires inside it that can be connected to the stereo. If you purchase it from somewhere, plug in, it will work. Right? So all of these things, this LDI, ZDI, so this is what basically a contract between these three, whatever the blueprint was. When the blueprint of this, maybe we are talking about a Swift car, right? So whenever the blueprint of this car Swift was created, it was decided what would be the different states and behaviors inside this car. Along with that, it was also decided that this car might have these 3 different versions. So any LDI can always be converted to ZDI. The difference only is in the interfaces. Implement interface. I have one very good example for this interface thing, but that will take some time. We'll discuss it in the next class apart from this one. So this Swift implements some interface, maybe some implements LDI, other implements this VDI, other implements ZDI. They impose some restrictions. If any class said it is of LDI version, it can never have a stereo inside it company fitted from here. If it is an LDI, whatever is written inside LDI, only those features would be there. It can always be upgraded, but at least LDI would be there. Similarly, any ZDI car always have features of VDI or LDI. Any ZDI car, because they are specialized versions in this sense. This is one contract, this is another contract, this is another contract. Right. So this interface thing is basically how we are connecting it is basically, this is kind of a I'm not getting that one good example I have in my mind, but something for right now. Okay, we'll see here what they have written. As we have already learned, objects define their interaction with the outside world through the methods that they expose, right? To change the state, there need to be some methods, the behaviors of any object, right? Methods form the object's interface with the outside world. The button on the front of your television set, for example, are the interface between you and the electrical wiring on the TV. You press the power button to turn the television on and off. Yes. So one example that I used to give when you might be in the class is the example of a projector. You would be here, I would be saying, okay, see this projector. You will be looking at the projector and you will find that inside a projector, you have an interface like these are the buttons to change the source, to turn it on and off, right? So this is a plastic casing inside which a projector is, right? So maybe now this is of Casio in a class in which I am sitting right now. It is a Casio projector. There is a plastic thing here. So this plastic case can be called as an interface. Why interface? Because it's something to which we are communicating by pressing button. But behind the scenes, inside it, there is all electronic components. Right? Inside this casing, there are all electronic components. And here you have a lens. So those electronic components are not visible to us. They are behind this interface. We can only just say, okay, turn it on and turn it off, whatever you want to do. Everything is inside this. So this external thing is called as an interface. And why this is a contract? Just imagine, first we build a case based upon our blueprint. Now, if this, yes, now here we can connect. Suppose if this project do not provide HDMI connection, then you will not find HDMI. You will find just a blank, a plastic sheet here. Whereas maybe the upper variant will have a HDMI port there, right? So this case, this is something as an interface, that is a contract, that what are the things of this internal electronic component that you can access and what you cannot access. Right? So interface is the word given because this is something that we connect. We say in the real world that whenever we are communicating with anything, that is called an interface. But here it only means the contract. That when we design this projector, we have first created the contract that जो भी कुछ component इसके अंदर है, वो इस case के अंदर आ जाना चाहिए. That is the contract. जितनी चीजें एक्शन आपने बाहर से यहाँ पे दिया है, only those things are accessible, nothing else. Right? इसके अंदर हो सकते हैं, there are these two more inside the projector on the circuit, but they are not given access to the outside world. They cannot click those buttons. They are inside it. So interface allows for any class what are the things that are accessible. Interface is a very interesting topic. So we'll see it later. I have another class starting at 3 for another batch, and you must also be having a class. So come tomorrow with a little understanding on interfaces. Try to read it, right? I would ask you people what are the interfaces, then I will tell you an example for this to get it in a better way. Okay.